Falcons fans, welcome to episode 7, a special lucky number 7. Lucky number 7.
Lucky.
Recap of the Saints and Falcons game. Mike Cottrell, my co-host, what's going on, buddy?
What's going on, buddy? I'm out of my Falcon mind.
You gotta be now. You gotta be
the best. It gotta be. This is gonna be the best podcast.
This is gonna be the best one yet. Best one yet. Hey, my name is John Yates. I'm your other host. We are out of your Falcon mind, Atlanta Falcons fan cast. If you haven't listened to us before, welcome in, and hope you stay. Hope you continue to stay. Go back and check out episode 1. Listen to, we just talk about who we are and get into some Falcons, just general Falcons talk. But yeah, so let's jump right into it. We do a thing every week that we do predictions, and normally my 11-year-old son Liam is in there with us, and we do that. He wasn't able to be here last week, so it was just Chris. If you watched the preview show, we had our good friend Chris, who's a New Orleans Saints diehard fan, on with us, and we were previewing that. And so we all predicted the score for this week, and Liam wasn't able to, like I said, he wasn't on the show, but he did give us his prediction after the show when he got home. And so we'll get to that in a second. So my prediction was 27-13 Saints. And I could not be happier to be dead ass wrong about that prediction. Mike, I think you were 17-14.
17-14. I couldn't be happier to be wrong as well. Yep.
You were 17-14 Falcons. So you and Liam were the only ones that picked the Falcons. Chris picked the Saints to win, of course. And Liam just happened. Liam, what did you predict the score to be?
27-25.
This dude picked the exact same damn score. And we don't have it recorded. We don't have it recorded, unfortunately. I wish we did, because we were, the show was over and we were just sitting here chatting when he popped in, but he predicted the exact score. So that's something else, man. Well done.
Already he's in the lead, and I think he beat us last week, right?
Yeah, he's already 2-0. We were all wrong about the Panthers.
Okay.
We all predicted the Falcons to win, so I guess that's just a wash.
Yeah, okay.
But the Dolphins game, he beat us, so he's 2-0. We're 0-2. But at least you got you picked the one. I mean, I picked the Saints just because, but yeah. So Liam, dude,
good job, buddy. The kid is a whiz. What can we say?
That's right. So we just wanted to get that gone over and out of the way. So looking at just basic housekeeping stuff before we get into some of the NFL and of course breaking down the game. You can reach us at atlfalconfancast@gmail.com. You can reach us on Instagram at Out of Your Falcon Mind. You can reach us on Twitter at Out of Your Effin, just FN Mind. You can watch us on YouTube if you want to watch our faces and watch us talk about the wonderful Atlanta Falcons. You just search for Out of Your Falcon Mind. Once we've got the page for 30 days, then we'll be able to have our own URL. Right now, it's just a ton of numbers that I'm not even going to list out to you guys, because it's just, I'm not going to do that. So yeah, we're putting all of our shows on there now. So check us out. If you were listening to us on Apple, please leave us a 5-star review. We would just so much appreciate it, because it helps other Falcons fans find our show and listen to us, and maybe get some more 5-star reviews. And like we said on previous shows, I mean, we just started out. This is our 7th show, so we're not expecting like amazing things immediately, but we want to get to happen. We want amazing things to happen.
Yes,
so we would love to have some interviews from some players, some former players down the road. Near the end of the season, I'm going to reach out to some media members. Maybe we can get a few media members on the show, talk about some things. It's hard to do that when you're like, hey, I've got a podcast and I've got 17 followers. Would you mind coming on my show?
That's very true.
That's tough. Now we do have more than 17, thankfully. And so we actually got a lot more than 17. So to everybody who's listened so far, thanks so much. Truly appreciate it, because we're just doing this and having a great time with it. And like Mike said, this is going to be definitely our best one yet. I already feel it.
This will be our best one yet.
So
just based on content alone.
Based on content alone, man. So since we last talked with Chris, how have you been, man? Anything new pop up in your?
I've been doing good. I've been doing good, buddy. Just hey, I will say this, and this is off subject a little bit, but it must be said. Man, for years, everybody I knew had a dog except for me, and I got a dog. and I thought people were kind of crazy. And I can understand now, buddy. Like a dog is the best thing. If
Is
y'all
it
don't
not,
have a
man?
dog, go get a dog, man. It's the best thing. It's like the way his excitement when I walk into the room is unparalleled.
Just
Like it's
makes your
like
day,
I'm
man.
God. It makes my day, and I can walk right out and come right back in, and he react the same exact way.
Oh yeah.
Go get a dog. It's the best thing in the world, man.
Yeah,
It's
I
the
could not agree
greatest.
more. I could not agree more. I was so happy you got him, man. If you haven't,
Yeah.
and you can look at our Instagram page if you want to see Biscuit. He's on there.
See Biscuit. He in his jersey. He in
He's
his
got his
Falcons
jersey
jersey
on.
and everything.
Yeah, he's
That's the
already
first thing I had
dedicated.
to go get. Already
Absolutely.
dedicated.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So hey, you still how do you when are you working out now? You working out in the mornings or the evenings, or how are you fitting that
I
in?
work out in it as soon as I get home, and so I get home every day about 1. So then I go straight in the gym.
I
Yep.
got you. Yeah, no,
And then I
I
start
just
working after that.
yeah. I know I've had to put it in the evenings now. Like so, I just got done about a few minutes ago. So and
I
then
love to do the mornings if I could. Man,
I
them
can't do the
evenings are
morning.
killer for me. Hey,
I
them
can't do
evenings.
that.
How do you do the evenings, man? Like you still got energy?
Pre-workout gives me the energy I needed. I have like,
Yeah, okay.
I have a coffee in the morning. I've got like a midday coffee, and like 2 hours after that, I've got a pre-gym. So I've got caffeine flowing through my veins pretty much all day.
Yeah.
So
Hey, hold on. I gotta ask you something.
yeah,
If you didn't have caffeine for a day, would you be a zombie? Like if you had no caffeine for a day, would
not
you?
a straight zombie because like, I mean, that's happened before. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm definitely more like, and it hits me more like mid-afternoon to early
yeah,
evening. Like that's when I just like start, man. Like that's when I can
yeah.
feel it. Like if I don't have it first thing in the morning, like I can function.
Okay.
Probably not as well, but I can
Yeah.
function. You know what I mean? So I
So
mean,
like
it's
what's your favorite like what's the name? Caffeine. Is it coffee or is it soda or is it
no,
like
I
five
don't
hour
do soda.
energy?
I do zero soda.
Yeah, that's me too.
Yeah, no, yeah, coffee, I guess. I mean, I do
Coffee.
pre-gym. Pre-gym is a workout, the pre-workout I take.
Yeah,
I've taken that for shit 6, 7 years now. And I mean,
yeah.
that's the only thing I take. Um, but yeah, the coffee, I mean, man, we grind our own stuff here. Amanda does, and for hot coffee, then we do cold brew like 90% of the time. So
Yeah.
that's like since we found cold brew some years ago, that's been like our jam. I mean, we
What
just
is it? Is it strong?
no, it's just you never had cold brew?
It'll perk you up. No, I'm saying is it the effect of it? It'll
Oh
perk you
yes,
up
yeah,
when you tap.
it's got a little, yeah, it's a little stronger than hot coffee.
I got you. I
The
got you.
caffeine
Okay.
is, yeah, but
Okay.
it's
Okay.
it's awesome. But yeah, no, I was just curious because I mean we used to work out when we lived close to by each other, so I was just curious.
Yeah.
So yeah, what time you're still doing that?
Still in there,
But
man. Just trying to catch up with you, buddy.
shit.
It's just
Um,
it's like chasing a carrot. You know what I mean?
yeah, right. Um, yeah. So anyway, looking at events since that's happened since then, we had the Braves parade on Friday, the World Series parade, which was I didn't get a chance to go down
Amazing.
there, but man, I spent 4 hours on the couch watching it and
Yeah.
seeing all those people, dude, and the interviews and just I mean, it was amazing, dude. I couldn't I smiled. I haven't stopped smiling. I was just so happy.
Mhm.
And dude, I can't how bad I want that for the Falcons, man. Like
Oh man. Yeah.
I was thinking that I was like, damn, I was like, we need this for the Falcons so badly.
Yeah.
And then yesterday was it yesterday? Monday, yeah. United's they sealed up their playoff berth. They beat they won 2-1, which is pretty, I think it was the NYFC that they played. And
Oh,
if
the
you
soccer team won.
no, I'm sorry. They played Cincinnati. They're going to play. Yeah.
Okay.
And dude, Joseph, man, the second goal he scored. If you're not soccer fans, check it out anyway. The second goal he scored, ridiculous. Ball like volleyed up in the air, 30 feet. Dude, it came down just one touch. It was amazing. But just wanted to get that. And so congratulations to United making the playoffs. Hopefully they can make a run through the playoffs. But oh man, and we talked about Netflix a few weeks ago. So I finished Midnight Mass. Did you start it or anything?
I didn't know. I didn't see it yet. I didn't see it yet.
It's
Is
not
it
it's good. I would,
so
huh?
so still watching
Yeah,
it?
still
Is
watch
that
it.
what you
It's a
okay?
first couple episodes a little slow, but then it kind of picks up, and then it ends like 10. It's a seven part miniseries. So in the
Mhm.
episode 7, like 10 minutes in, you kind of already know how it's going to end, kind of based on what's happened.
Okay.
It's messed up. I mean, it's messed up, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's um Yeah, I mean, there's a few things that come out of left field that kind of like, oh wow. It's not like a
Yeah.
super feel good show, like you don't want to, but it's a good like kind of horror,
Yeah.
horror flick
Yeah.
type of thing. You know what I mean? So it was good. But and we started You. Have you seen You?
I've seen that. That's one of the greatest things I ever seen on
Seriously?
Netflix.
We just started the first. We
Yeah.
just started last night. We're like so late on it. We watched the
I've
first
watched
episode
every
last night.
season. I've watched every season. It's hilarious. It's a really good show.
Okay, yeah, and
It's
we
like
like.
I don't even want to blow it for you. It's just an amazing show.
Okay. All right. Yeah. We watched the first episode last night. So we're definitely, we're going to keep going probably tonight for sure. So, all right. Enough of that talk. But, and that's kind of what you're going to get from us, by the way. It's not straight 100% Falcons. We're going to,
we got to talk for a minute. Jesus Christ, people.
Get off our ass. Damn.
Yeah.
But no,
Damn,
it's, yeah, no, but like we said from the first show, we want to just have some fun and create like a little fun community. So I mean, anything that you guys, if you want to email in, like last week or last episode, we had one of our listeners email in and ask us like how we fit this into our schedule, which is not really Falcons related. That's fine. That's great. Send that in. Send in anything you want. Send in your favorite Netflix show, your favorite food. I don't give a damn. We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it.
That's right. So a little bit of news around the league. Buddy, if this wasn't a week to say like that it's the NFL, you just never know. I don't know what it is, man.
Oh, because man, this was the definition of that this week,
wasn't it? Because I was man, we were at Liam's baseball tournament yesterday, and after the first game break, it was about 1:30, 1:45. We headed out to get food before our next game at 4. So we went to Wild Wing Cafe, and they got 30 different TVs and all the games on. The scores I was seeing, I was like, "What is going on, man?" Like Denver was up big on Dallas. Browns was up big. Well, Browns are a good team. Don't get me wrong, but they were up big on the Bengals. Pats were beating Carolina, which we'll get to that in a little bit because But so looking at the scores, man, Browns 41-16 over the Bengals, Denver 30-16 over Dallas, the Pats 24-6 over Carolina with the vaunted Sam Darnold. Oh my God,
Sam Darnold, and he played horrific.
If you want to know Mike's thoughts on Sam Darnold, check out the preview show just for a little bit.
Check out the last show, It's just he returned to his
natural state.
Self. Yeah, his natural state.
Natural state of suck.
He is terrific.
Kansas City and tight game over Green Bay, 13-7. The Aaron Rodgers-less Green Bay Packers. I'm not even going to get into that disaster. Arizona 31-17 over San Fran. So sad to see Shanahan keep having a rough time of it. That just breaks my heart. Bastard. And the Titans 28-16 over the Rams, which I didn't know what to expect from that game, but the Titans, man, they're for real, man. Which we knew they were.
They're gonna rumble. On every game they come to play.
Last but not least, the Jaguars 9-6 over the Bills. What?
Mind blowing.
What?
Mind blowing. Yeah. But it was a weird day.
NFL, man. NFL.
Stranger things, man. Odell Beckham got cut this week.
Yeah.
There's been a lot going on.
Yeah, not seeing him do that.
Rodgers said he was vaccinated and wasn't vaccinated this week. There's a lot going on.
What do you say? I am 100% immunized or whatever.
I'm immunized.
I don't know, man.
Oh, man.
Dude. So and that's just a few roster moves for our boys at the Falcons today, just recent moves. And this is from Tori Michelani on the Falcons. He's a Falcons beat reporter. They signed defensive lineman Anthony Rush, the 53-man roster. Apparently he's been making waves in the practice squad. So Arthur Smith seemed really, really happy about bringing him up. Activated Caleb Huntley from the squad IR to the practice squad. They waived Ryan Becker and Deadrin Sanat, which I thought when they drafted him, big body, going to come in, be next to Jarrett. I thought that was a good pick.
Never know.
I thought that was a really good pick.
That's why I said you never know.
And now he's cut. So that's that. And then for the 450,000th time, they released Elliott Fryer from the practice squad because he keeps coming on and keeps going away. That's just the latest from the Falcons today on the roster. Um, so getting into something else crazy. If the season ended today, which of course it wouldn't, we're in the damn playoffs, dude. We're
I
the
saw
seventh
that.
seed. I told
Uh,
I told
and I'm
my
gonna tell you this. Listen, they said that the last 6 games we've played have been decided by 7 points or fewer.
Mhm.
Just think about we could at least have 2 easy more wins. So it could
Should.
be six
Yep.
and two. Like it
Should.
could really easily be 6 and 2, and we could
Absolutely.
really be in the playoffs.
Mhm.
So just think about how close we are to that, even though we've struggled.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. I mean,
huge,
just
man.
it is. I mean, that Washington game, and of course last week missing opportunities against
Mm-hmm.
Carolina. Those were rough. But yeah, I couldn't believe it, man. I told my nephew, man, like this is like I told him before the Saints game. I was like, because we were joking about it, and I said, man, if we make the playoffs this year, I will tattoo a Falcon on my chest.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, I get to pick the Falcon. I'm like, all right, that's cool. So I guess I need to be possibly looking out for that, which is fine. I'm
Mm-hmm.
down. I ain't got. I mean, that's fine. I'll
I
do it.
would love for that. I mean, if for us to even make the playoffs the first year of it would be big for momentum.
With
And
this
just
team,
knowing that
I
we
mean, yeah,
like because it was supposed to be like, I ain't gonna say starting over, but we starting from the bottom,
right.
right? And we gonna see where it go. And then to even sniff the playoffs would be kind of dope.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
without a doubt. Yeah. So I mean, I saw that and I was like, man, that's crazy. I mean, we're 4-4. I mean, if you told me to start the
But
season, we're 4-4. I'd
I
be
would,
like, all right.
hey, I was gonna say, like, I would have wanted to win at least 2 of those close games.
Mm-hmm.
But if you would have told me 4-4 for with new coach and new everything, I'd take it.
Exactly.
I'm taking 4-4 every time.
Exactly. And then other news. This is Matt was nominated for the FedEx Air Player of the Week, which is no shocker with the game he
Hey,
had.
Matty
So
Ice.
we'll get further into Matt later on. So look, if you're a Matt Ryan hater, you may not want to listen to us, or you might
Yeah,
want to keep on listening to us so we can educate you on why you should not be.
that's what you should do, because you listen to me long enough, you'll love Matt Ryan.
That's right.
Buddy. Just trust me.
That's right. And then this blew my mind too, because you think about, I mean, this as a whole. Per Kevin Keneally, I guess I'm gonna apologize for saying his name wrong on Twitter. Matt now has won the 12th most games in NFL history at 117. I mean, think about that. The 12th most games in NFL history.
I'm putting that on my phone so I can gloat upon that many, many more times. So I would thank you for that nugget of history.
Yeah.
That is amazing, man, because that is kind of his knock
Yeah.
about people when they say, well, he don't really win. He just a stat stuffer. He
Yeah.
don't really win. And now you say he won the 12th most in NFL history.
With that win yesterday at
Goodness
117.
gracious.
Yeah. Blew me away, man. So, I mean, that
Matt
was,
Ryan, man, we gonna have to start giving him. I know it's some of y'all who still won't give him. You're gonna have to start giving that man
hey, but
his
you know what?
props. He
You
he
know,
he break a record every week. He breaks some type of record.
but you know what though? They don't, it's funny, like those people, they'll come out when he has a bad game or a bad throw.
Yep,
But
yep.
then they turtle back in whenever he has an amazing game or does something crazy or whatever. So, I mean,
And we gonna really get into Matt Ryan
yeah, yeah.
on today's show.
That's right. So looking at getting into the game, the actual game here. So I watched it last night. I watched the whole thing last night. I saw bits and pieces of it at the restaurant, and I'll be honest. You started texting me in the fourth and was like, "Man, if we lose this game," and I'm like, "What are we talking
Yeah,
about?" The last time I
yeah,
saw, because dude, I literally left the restaurant. It was 20-3, and I was
yep.
feeling. And we've talked about this. I was feeling okay because I know,
Mm-hmm.
like, this is what we kind of do. We get up big and then we may lose the game, and then but I was like, it's 20-3, so we I think we're good. So I get back to the game, we're in the baseball game's going, and you text me, and I'm like, what? So I pull up, and my buddy who's there, who's also a diehard Falcons fan, um, I pull up the streaming on my phone, right? And there's like 2 minutes left, And so we see the Saints score and go up, and we're like, you gotta be kidding me. But left a minute on the clock. So we're sitting there watching. So we watched the end of it, dude. Both of us are like screaming like when we score and finish, and like people looking at us weird. I mean, I'm just really glad like our kids wasn't up there like striking out. We were like, yeah,
right. They've been like, what is going on?
Yeah, what's wrong with this moron? What an asshole.
Parents.
What a terrible parent. Yeah. So anyway, we saw them. But anyway, I went back and watched the whole thing last night. And so looking at it, man, Matt got off to a good start in the game. Juke and DeMario. You see that run?
I thought it was Michael Vick. I I didn't know. I know just what you talking about.
Yeah, man. But
he kind of got a little juke in him though. He kind of did his little thing.
Yeah. So we get up anyway. We go up 3-0 in the first quarter. Pretty uneventful overall. Defense playing okay. Our bend and not break type defense. Second quarter, the Saints start moving the ball. But they start making stops when we needed it. But the Saints kept hurting themselves bad with penalties. I mean, like that one drive, like they just kept backing themselves up. So, and we take it. And dude, the drops were hurting the Saints too, man. They had the dropsies yesterday.
Hey man, I was gonna tell you, the penalties and the drops. That dude Trevor Siemian was really making some good ass throws. Like he was putting that ball where it needed to be. Like he looked like a veteran.
Yeah.
And so many times he did it and they dropped it for a first down or for an important pass. And they wasn't really helping that boy.
No, that's what, remember Chris said last week. He was like, he thought, he was like, yeah, we're hurting that receiver. He's like, man, we're really hurting that receiver for the time.
Yeah, he did say that. Yep.
He's like, we got one fast guy and then a bunch of possession guys, but the possession guys didn't even come through really with the catches. And then later on in the second, both teams end up going for it on fourth down. Neither one gets it. I don't understand. I get it from a overall football standpoint. That it's on 4th and inches, you should be able to run the ball and get it. I don't get it based on how we've ran the ball this year. And I just think if you're going to go for it on 4th inches, maybe you line up like you're going to and you play action or something. I mean, we didn't even. I mean, it wasn't even. I just thought that was that's just me nitpicking, because that's honestly one of the only plays call out of the day that I didn't really like. But that was, I can take that. And then, dude, Russell Gage jumping in. You see that?
For no reason. I don't know why he felt.
I guess he thought he was about to get. I guess he thought the guy was going to go low. So he was.
He thought that way early. He jumped the gun so early.
He jumped in the air. Then the other dude jumped in the air.
He just came down. He jumped in there and came down and was just looking at the man like, okay, I thought you was underneath.
I want to jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
But I love him for catching that ball.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
I love him for catching it.
Exactly. So Matt kept doing his thing, finished the drive with a TD and scoring 7 in the red zone, which we said on the preview show with Chris. And Chris, I mean, he agreed. We have to score 7 against the Saints. We got to score 7 regardless when we get in the end zone, but especially against the Saints. And we did. So we got that. And ends the first half. Not too long after that, Saints end up with 5 drops in the first half. Like we said, that hurt. That hurt bad. Third quarter, come out. Props to AJ Terrell, still playing great over there at corner, not really getting thrown his way. And when it does, he's batting it down, man.
I'm gonna tell you, he is blowing my mind as a Falcon. He's the one that's, because I knew he was good, but I didn't know he would. He is blowing my mind with his coverage right now. Like that dude can. I'm dying to see him take somebody that's really like. I just want to see.
And he had 5
really play somebody that.
Yeah,
he is amazing, man. He's playing really well. He's so small. I don't know how he's doing that. He's so small.
5
he getting his head around now.
Yeah,
he deflecting that ball like he on everybody ass. He right beside you, no matter who it is.
And he hits you, man. Like he'll come up and hit you. He's not afraid. I mean, I think he had 5 tackles, 4 solo, and 3 pass defense. So I mean, and like I said, the ball
excellent.
Yeah, and I thought Fabian Moreau. I mean, like he got picked on a little bit yesterday, but that play he made in the third, it was perfect. He was looking for the ball. He was looking at him the whole time, and that's the only reason he did not get a PI. If his head's not turned, he's getting a PI, and that's probably And that's probably a touchdown, because that's going to be on the goal line or in the, I mean, it's going to be right there. So that was a hell of a play by Moreau. And then after we get the ball back, Matt with a great pass to Zacchaeus. And that was a great route by him too, because I think when he realized, if you look, and he broke it, he cut to the right, and then once he saw there was no safety, there was nothing on the left side of the field, he cut back out to the left, and Matt put it right on him. And that was a great, I mean, whether that was design or not, I thought that was, really good, really smart play by Zacchaeus. And then not long after that, or actually it might have been the next play to Hayden Hurst. That boy is not going to juke anybody. He wants to run over somebody, man. He put his shoulder down and almost got in the end zone with a 1 yard line. And then Matty Wills rolls to the right and took it in with the easy 17-3 lead.
I loved it.
Another score in the red zone.
Russell Wilson-esque Matty Ice.
A great play call. I mean, they loaded up the line like they're going to, do a run. And I mean, it was perfect.
Creative play call.
Yeah.
What?
Gotta be. And then, Saints get the ball back. Big run by Kamara. Again, penalties killing the Saints. That they got the big run got called back for holding, which was nice for us. And that was the 8th. After that,
I don't know why, but when he ran that run and it got called back, it warmed my heart. Like it was like warm, apple cider on a Christmas morning. It made me feel good. I don't know why that made me. That really meant because I thought, damn, he broke one. Yeah. And when that got called back, I said, man, I think this all day. It just really made me feel good. I just like to see them be angry.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, and he knew it when he got, because he was pissed after.
He did. He was pissed. Yeah, he already knew. Yeah. Yep.
So, but at that point in the game, that was their 8th penalty, and we'd only had one to that point.
Goodness gracious. Yeah.
So that was, it was tough. And then the fourth quarter starts, and they put the stat out on TV, and I knew we'd been outscored. I wasn't aware it was this bad, but in the fourth quarter, they said we'd been outscored 45 points in the fourth quarter this season.
That is ridiculous for 8 games.
That's not good. No.
For 8 games, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. So this is where it kind of turned down, went downhill for us a little bit in the fourth, and started off with the 52-yard field goal by Johnson, made it 17-6. And Matt started to feel the pressure a little bit more. Line started getting upfield. They started bringing 5 guys, sometimes 6. So that was, you started to kind of see like, all right, they're getting a little bit of momentum. And then James Valters, man, who was just promoted from the practice squad, comes in and makes that beautiful sack and forced a fumble. And then Means picked it up, almost ran it back, got taken down early before the goal line. And then Ryan with another great toss, another TD in the red zone, 24-6, we go up. So at that point, there's 10 minutes, 39 seconds left, and we're up 24-6. So everybody, I wasn't watching. I'm assuming most everybody was like, we are the Falcons, but we got a pretty damn good lead, so we should be safe. Is that what you were thinking, or no?
I was watching. I was so excited because it was the Saints. But I heard the ghost of John just saying, don't celebrate just yet.
You don't?
I just heard the ghost of John saying, hey, man, before calm it down and keep watching. And I'm glad I did, because I was like, man, we about to do it. If we do this to the Saints, it's going to break my heart.
Yeah, and
we almost gave it back. Almost gave it back.
We did. I got another text from a buddy, and he's like, man, he goes, this is not. He's like, because if this is a Super Bowl, this is just as bad as 28-3. He's like, it feels just as bad.
Yeah. Oh, man, I mean? It was because it was. Hey, man, I told John, I said, I forgot what I texted you. I said, man, I don't trust our defense.
Right. Yeah.
You remember that? I said, nah, man. I said, nah, I don't trust our defense, because I've seen this movie so many times. I know how it ends. It just makes me feel so good at the end of these when it don't go. Well, I mean, when it goes. Oh yeah. So I mean, so when the Saints got the ball back, big catch and big throw and catch to Troutman, first and goal, and then he hits Callaway, made it 24-13. Our very next drive, we had 2 negative plays. So I think one was a sack, and then 3 and out. So we got conservative again, and we'll get to this in a little bit as well. So 3 and out. Then we punt the ball, stupid ass penalty by Richie Grant.
hitting the dude out of bounds, gives him 15 yards. The very next play, PI on Moreau, 27-yard penalty. So we gave him, right in that span of 30 seconds, we gave him 45 yards.
And the one out of bounds, man, those little moments where you lose control of yourself or you doing something personal, those could cost us a game.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like the whole game can come down to you just trying to prove a point as a man to somebody else, and that I'm a just fling you around instead of just throwing you down. I'm gonna put something extra on it.
Yep.
Man, that could have cost us the entire game from you making that one mistake. So you can't do that.
Nope. And it is the good
that bullshit to the side, man, and play ball.
And the only thing that can come out of that is he's going to get his ass chewed this week when they study a film or just in general, and say, look, man, at the end of the game, when this is what's going on, you've got every player's got to be under control.
Yep.
And this is when you got to play your best, and this is when you got to keep your head to yourself, and so anyway, that was a tough 2 plays. And then I don't even understand, I guess. I mean, when Fourier came through and got a roughing the passer on Trevor, I mean, he hit him in the helmet with his arm when he came. I don't understand why he jumped.
So here's what I'm saying.
But go ahead.
He technically broke the rule. You can't make contact with the head of the quarterback, right? So he jumped up, and that's how he came down. What gets under my skin, so I'm not here to argue. He did break the rule issue and the penalty.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I hate that they don't let quarterbacks be football players. That is a grown man with pads on and a helmet.
So, and the man's arm hit the helmet.
and this is what I'm saying. If he could have, like when we are talking about the one where the guy, like the Falcon guy, right, did it. He didn't have to do that. It was like he could have just tackled the man. He did something extra, right?
Right.
But if my hands are up and they all, so my hands are gonna naturally come down right there. It's not like I'm doing, like an act of aggression toward that. My hands are gonna. I went up. I'm trying to block anything you throw. My hands are gonna come down on your helmet.
Yep.
I don't know how that's a penalty if we playing football.
I know.
If he violently thrust the helmet, I get it. But you can't even. Where else was his hands gonna come down? Behind his back?
No.
Like that is a ridiculous penalty. We treat quarterbacks like girls. Like.
Oh yeah.
Like if you tackle him too hard, it's a penalty.
Yeah.
Which he not a football player too.
And what kills me, and I don't want to get off on this, but I mean, great point, because I hate it when they get called for landing on him. Like, what are you supposed to do in midair?
Yeah.
Gravity.
In midair, what should you Michael Jordan? You should change the directions and go. Man, that's ridiculous.
When you're laid out horizontal and you make a clean hit on a quarterback, you can't stop momentum. You're 300, probably 250, 300-pound man. What? It's gravity, dude. You're going to come down.
Yeah,
that sucks for the quarterback, but that's the game, man. Or it was,
and that is the game, because that's tackle football. I'm going to land on you sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. But I totally agree with you. So after that, the Saints end up scoring. Kamara runs it in 24-19. They go for 2. They do not get it. Deron Harmon defended that really well. Really well. So that ended up being a really big play in the game too. So we get the ball back, 3 and out again. Matt has to take a sack on 3rd and 22. And then the Who Dat chant starts. You could hear it through the TV, and you could just feel all that momentum just shifting. And it already had, but you just felt it getting worse because you just heard the Who Dat chant, and you're like, oh shit, here we go. So the Saints go down, they score, and when they did score, I was like, damn, but I was like, you know what? They scored quick. I mean, they could have ran a couple of plays, but they scored on their first play and goal.
That was a mistake.
That was the mistake.
Yes.
So they left a minute on
Ryan.
Yep. And so and I was watching the press conferences with some of the players, and they asked Cordell, like, what did Matt say? What did he tell the team whenever? And he was like, well, we got a minute, let's go get it done. let's go do our job and get it done. And he was like,
Ice.
and Cordell was like, man, he's like, there is never any panic on the man's face. There's never any doubt. It's just he knows what he's going to do. He's like, and that's invaluable to every member on that offense because they just know they can be confident.
They feeding off of you.
Exactly.
Yeah, because they feeding off you. If your hand's shaking and your voice shaking, then that's going,
And the same thing. So listen to Matt talk too about that next play. He said he looked over, he saw man coverage on Cordell, and I mean, man, they got to realize. I mean, Cordell is what, he's 6'2", 6'3", about 245, whatever. I mean, and Vilma kept going on about it on the broadcast. He was like, man, he's like, this is a big dude and he's fast, and
he can run.
Yeah, and as soon as Matt realized it was one man on man coverage, he knew that's where he was going to go. So he makes a beautiful pass down the sideline, dead arm Matt Ryan. Can't throw the deep ball, makes a beautiful pass in stride. And then Cordell makes a good catch, and then tiptoes down the line. Now I will say, when we ran the ball at the middle and Davis fumbled, I might have pooped myself a little bit, man. That scared me.
And I felt like the Super Bowl all over again. I was
scared to death because I was watching that at the field and I was like, did he really just fumble? And I was like, man, we gotta just kneel. We don't need to run a play. Just kneel. And then Koo comes in and hits the game winner from 29 yards, and I mean, super exciting. And I lost it at the baseball game, and with other people as well that were watching and listening to it. So because there's no better feeling than beating the Saints, man. There really isn't.
None. And I got
at their house
in New Orleans, man.
In a year when we
no Calvin Ridley.
Yeah.
Well, we shouldn't have beat, man, with no Calvin Ridley. I'm gonna tell you, at the start of that game, it was clear that we need him on the field.
Yeah,
it was clear because the only one was Pitts. Everyone else was a little bit overwhelmed, and we couldn't hear experience coming to play. When that game started, we couldn't hear nothing, man. We was looking around at each other like we couldn't hear nothing. So it was only until we started scoring that they kind of calmed down.
Exactly.
I gotta say this again. I want to say it on man, every one of these shows is just so true. When it was the end of that second quarter and Matt Ryan had to go down, Matt Ryan took you down there again and threw a bullet pass in to score a touchdown. When it was the fourth quarter and you had a minute and you needed Matt Ryan to take you down again to be in field goal range, Matt Ryan took you down again and put you right back in the same situation. Y'all gotta give the man this damn props, man. This dude, the dude is amazing. Like, the dude did it again. It was all on him. He did it again. I'll say I rely on Koo now. Like, I expect him to make it.
Yeah.
Like, I think he he's starting to be somebody that I'm not scared when he got to kick one.
And you've seen his confidence grow from the time he started with us to even now.
He gonna make this. So I don't even be scared no more. He get like Matt Bryant to me. But I just thought you got to give him Matt. I mean, he went off yesterday. And like I said, when he threw that bullet pass in, I said, damn. And then his arm still got some smoke on it.
It does, man.
At that age, man, because he rifled that one in, and then like I said, it was a minute left, and he went right down. And I like to play the balls, just to call that play, man. That is not Falcon like, man. Arthur Smith got balls, man.
Yeah,
when he get buried, it's two coffins. They need one for him and one for his balls, man, because he is going all in. Like, he do some stuff I like, because the whole team thought the same thing. I thought it was gonna be like a 5-yard pass, a screen pass.
Trying to get down.
They went for the jugular.
Yeah,
the first play. I loved it.
Yeah, and I mean, in this, we thought we were gonna get into the fourth quarter. So this is the issue that we have as a team in the fourth quarter. If we have a lead, we cannot run the ball with any efficiency. We just can't. And I mean, when you look at our rushing stats for the day, we had a total of 25 rushes for 34 yards. That's not a great yards per carry at all. So
and you had the attempts there.
right.
The attempts were there
Exactly.
to keep them honest.
On the flip side, New Orleans rushed it the same amount of times for 109 yards. Now we clearly don't have a Kamara, we don't have an Ingram, and we don't have, probably their offensive line's better than ours. But I mean, if we have the lead and you're relied on to run the ball and you cannot run the clock down. And you're going and that's what happened.
There's three and out.
Exactly, that's what happened. And there's a couple possessions. So he's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, because if he starts throwing the ball and Matt throws an interception, or we turn it over, or it goes, whatever, he's going to get criticized. Why aren't you running the ball? You got to just, I mean, he's kind of stuck. I mean, you have to attempt to run, because the clock's going to keep running. You know what I mean? Unless they're, calling timeouts if it's that point in the game. But until we can get a solid run game, man, we're going to keep seeing these issues in the fourth quarter when we have leads. So that's the only kind of downside. That's a great
point.
Yeah.
No, it's a great point, because you're right. If you don't, in order to run the time off the clock, you got to have a running game.
At least get some chunky downs. Yeah, or something.
Yeah,
make it.
Running, if your whole running game is getting 1 to 2 yards per carry, then you're not getting a first down. All you going is 3 and out.
Right. Or if you're going hell, sometimes we were going backwards. We couldn't even get to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. But a lot of that is that offensive line, man.
Yeah. Mike Davis is, I mean, he's not what he used to be. Yeah. Cordell, he's not a natural running back. I mean, God bless him for doing it, because we need it. Because his speed is
who I think we could use and that we could get, even though I don't think we have any cap space, was it Le'Veon Bell. He's a Raven, but I think he would go perfect with our offense. He can catch, block, and run.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. And I don't know what it costs the Ravens, to be honest. I probably wouldn't.
I don't think. I think his value has tremendously dropped since Pittsburgh. So I think you can get him cheap now.
Yeah,
but we should have got him.
Yeah, I mean, I think that'll be. They're going to have to address it, whether it's in the draft or whether it's free agent or something. They're going to have to, because we can't go next year with these two. I mean, with that type of, I just can't. But looking at some other stats from the game, and we'll get into a few other topics on it. So the Saints were 6.5 point favorites coming into the game, which, I mean, that's about right. For that series with those two teams, I thought that's pretty. That was good. We already talked about Matt. I mean, he was 23 for 30, 343 yards, 2 touchdowns with a 135.8 passer rating.
Matt Ryan.
Gotta give it
love you, buddy.
He had the longest pass was obviously the 64-yarder to Cordell, which was the biggest one in the game. He got sacked twice, which didn't come to later in the game. Simeon was 25 for 41, 249 yards, 2 touchdowns. His long was 25. And I thought that was, we didn't give up any just big plays. I mean, the biggest play might have been it might have been that Kamara run that got called back. That might have been the biggest one they had. And then to just pound the point home on our rushing. Matt led our rushers with 1.6 yards per carry.
Matt Ryan should never lead anything in running. He shouldn't lead rushing in nothing in the history of the world. That he should never be in that category.
No, CP had 10 yards and 9 carries for, 10 yards on 9 carries. Sorry. So, 1 yard, basically 1 yard a carry.
And they did have a great, I think they were number 2.
Correct.
In rushing.
You got to give the Saints. Yeah, exactly.
So, but we had to run to keep them honest, and we were able to do that. So that was a good thing.
Yeah, and Chris called that last week too. He said, you guys are going to have to keep running, even though if you're not being successful, you're going to keep trying.
Just to keep them honest.
And and we kept trying. It was not successful. And I just, you can't, Mike. I don't see David doing a lot of toss sweeps or a lot of running outside. He's a north and south type of guy. Yep. Cordell's more that type of left, horizontal type runner. So for the Saints, Kamara had 50 yards on 13 carries with the 1 touchdown, and Ingram on his first game back with the Saints had 43 yards on 9 carries. Yeah, he was ready to go.
I think that Alvin is so smooth, man. The way he run, he seemed like he don't even be running fast, but it's just smooth.
I know.
He's an animal, man. He can do everything. He's one of the best.
He really
like
is.
I'm a fan of his, even though he played for the Saints.
Yeah, I am too. On the receiving side of things, Patterson was targeted 6 times and he had 6 catches, 126 yards. Obviously, half of that coming with the 1 catch. Zacchaeus was targeted 3 times, 3 catches, and 2 touchdowns. So that's pretty solid right there. Gage had 8 targets and 7 catches. So it was nice because he was non-existent during that Panthers game, which there was a lot of things wrong with that game. But Pitts, 7 targets and 3 catches. So, I mean, like Chris kind of predicted, I mean, they were going to key up on him. Which he did a pretty good job of. He wasn't allowed to kill him. So yeah, that's pretty much our production on the receiving side. Hurst and Davis and Sharp all had catches as well. Defensively, Debo, as usual, was up there. I think he had 10 tackles, 2 passes defended. Eric Harris, 8 tackles. We talked about what AJ did.
Hold on, I gotta jump in real quick.
Yeah.
I'm not now. We have a lot to catch up with our defense. I'm not saying we did. Man, AJ Harris. I mean,
Eric Harris.
AJ and Eric Harris are 2 players that's worth keeping. I mean, Eric Harris, man, he makes open field tackles really good, man. I was watching him in that game. He did it like 3-4 times, where it's just him and somebody, and he run them down and he get them. So I'm impressed with Eric Harris, man. And I like, and we needed somebody who could hit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I like Eric Harris and I like AJ. Those are 2 players that really surprised me. I already knew Grady. I already knew Dion, but Eric Harris is playing well.
You know who else? Jalen Hawkins too, man. He keeps playing well.
Yeah,
that's a fourth rounder
every week.
That's a 4th rounder, and he's turning out to be probably a pretty damn good safety if he keeps on this track and keeps working hard. I mean, he's been impressive too. Looking at the overall stats, we held the ball about 5 minutes less than the Saints did. Offensive plays, we ran 57 to their 69. The penalties, we talked about it with the Saints. It killed them. They had 10 for 74 yards, but we had 5 crucial penalties in that last quarter. That hurt. We were great up until then. Then we just started doing stupid shit.
Give it back.
And we had 6 penalties for 76 yards. Just the 1 turnover with the strip sack from Valters. So I mean, we both had 2 touchdowns each. So I mean, that was, the rushing 25 for 34 yards. Talked about that. Third down, and we've been doing pretty well on third down conversions. That didn't really hold true to this game either. We were 39%, but they were not. They were worse. They were 30%. So they were 3 for 10. We were 5 for 13. So we had 1 sack. So that's about standard, I guess, for our defense per game. 0 to 1 sacks.
Actually,
but
that's about right on par with what we do.
Yep. And they had the 2 sacks. 1, I think, was Cam Jordan. But you know what? Cam Jordan was pretty much bottled up most of the day.
He got loose that one time.
Yeah, he played. I think he played the majority of his snaps over right tackle, but he did play off left tackle too. So McGarry and Matthews, they did a good job with him most of the day. So again, good. But Chris did say he's a little long in the tooth. He's better in run support now, really, than chasing down passers. But he's still a hell of a player, though. I mean, he's not that washed up.
Always a threat.
Yeah. So getting on to some other topics on this game, and we starting off with Matt. So tired of hearing over the years, man, like, well, he's got Julio, he had Roddy, he had, like all these, like, he couldn't do it with he couldn't do it with like just regular. I don't know what you call what we got now, right? Russell Gage.
Yeah. Yep.
Olajuwon Zacchaeus, Christian Blake, Sharp. These are not number 1s, number 2s. They're in a perfect world. Russell Gage is our 3 or 4.
The 3 or 4, yep.
And I mean, we got Pitts. We have 0 running game. I just said this. We just said this. 0 running game. So in most of the season, he's been doing this without Calvin. And Calvin, like we talked about before, Calvin wasn't really himself most of this season, regardless. Whether it has related to what he's going through or whatever, he just hasn't looked like the same guy he was last year. So I don't want to hear it, man, anymore about like he
and
can't.
a questionable offensive line.
Yeah, as pretty much per usual,
As always.
Yeah.
And and you got to really think about how well Matt has played throughout all that stuff he just said.
Yeah.
Like, and that is my point with Matt Ryan every year, every season is, man, you got to understand what he working with and the performance he gives with what he was given to work with. I'm always amazed by. He did it again yesterday.
I think when Arthur Smith came in and Terry Fontenot was hired, and they talked about, because they talked about the quarterback position as the biggest position on the team, about what they're going to do, and Arthur came out and said, no, we feel like we can win and we can do we can do with Matt Ryan because we're going to work to his strengths, and that's what a good coach and good coordinators do. They don't force a system on a quarterback if it's not going to be benefiting that quarterback. So they looked at Matt and said, okay, this is what he can do. This is what he's great. This is what he's good at. They know how smart he is. And like we talked about a few shows ago, I mean, he's only gotten like his drive and his competitiveness. I mean, the way he's the fire. I mean, like it shows now more than ever, and like the dude, I mean, I know it's a Matt Ryan love fest, but look, he is the ultimate teammate, man. In that post game, or not in the post, in the post game, they asked him about that fumble that Stephen Davis made. Dude, he couldn't even say a bad thing about that. They were like, if you'll go back and watch it, he said, oh, Steve did a good job there, not running. I mean, like, he didn't even know what he was saying. He just didn't say bad. Like
he don't even know how to be mean.
Yeah, I mean, like he's not throwing anybody on the bus. He's the first one to take the blame when they don't perform. He will say, "I got to do better. We got to do better."
Yep.
So he leads the team.
Leader.
He's like the unquestioned leader.
Professional.
I mean, every player on offense and probably defense look to him.
Yep.
And see his demeanor, and they go, I mean, he's, I mean, I don't know what more you want in a quarterback, and I know he's 37.
Listen, and I don't know what more you want if it's all encompassing. When I'm talking about the face of your franchise,
right?
When was it a scandal about Matt Ryan? When was TMZ where they caught him with a screenshotted text? He's cheating on his wife, or he was drunk somewhere, or he was smoking weed. He was at the strip club. Just not one time. The man don't have one asterisk.
Right.
For the face of a franchise, for the face of the city. The man come through every time we need the man to come through. I think he balling again. And you got to just think, there was no reason for us. The reason why when I predicted, I said a low score, he had no weapon. He had one weapon. And we won.
Yep.
So that just took, and he, man, 343 yards, 2 touchdowns. Man, kind of, I don't want to say this, I hate to say it, but single-handedly won us the game. Like, and so when all them people keep saying he ain't this and that, like, man, I'm gonna be honest, there ain't a lot of quarterbacks in the league better than Matt Ryan.
And I mean, that was a 10th overall ranked defense that he went against.
Yeah.
And they pretty much knew that he was.
And his running team, and his running, what did you say? They had 35 yards?
34 yards.
Running, was non-existent.
Yep.
That was solely Matt Ryan with only Kyle Pitts. Man, he was throwing to the school janitor, the school lunch lady, the school bus driver. He was throwing to people you never heard of, and he looked amazing.
Yep. And I mean, and credit to him, credit to the play calling. I mean, the preparation was had to be just spot on for this game. And I mean, all the way around, it's ultimate.
Chris called it though. If you remember, Chris said that the only player he was scared of was Matt Ryan, and if he had too much time to throw,
100% called it.
Yep, he called it. He said, "Yeah, because man, we gave their dude a lot of time to throw too. It was pissing me off.
Of course,
man. He was just sitting back there, just looking around. It was like it seemed like if it's not Grady Jarrett, it's nobody.
Right. And well, we got we talked about we got to bring another rusher. Our 4. Normally, if we rush 4 or 3, we're definitely not getting unless.
And I got to ask you a question. If you could fill one position on our team that you think is the most, that should be most on our priority list, what position you say? Well, I wouldn't say what would be highest on our priority? Like for you, you had to pick one position to really go at and get somebody at. What do you
right now. Like if you could just
right now?
spend whatever and get a top of the line
Yeah.
type guy.
Yeah.
Either an edge rusher or somebody next to Grady. And I know we need a receiver. I know we need a running back, but like we continually do not get pressure on quarterbacks, and we keep stressing the hell out of our. We stress the hell out of our secondary, and it's just, I mean, there's got to be that balance there. You know, I mean, like Chris talked about, you know, that's how he thought that Trevor was going to be successful is our lack of pass rush. You know, you're going to leave our guys trying to guard their receivers for 4, 5, 6 seconds, you know, and normally doesn't work out well for that team.
Yep.
I mean, if you didn't see the game and I came to you and I said, dude, we ran for 34 yards, you'd say, oh shit, how bad we get beat?
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Because you would think like, oh, we ran for 34, then we damn sure probably threw it a ton and probably, you know, a couple of picks and, you know, whatever, because they knew we were going to be throwing. But yeah, I can't say enough about Matt, man. And we both said there will be a time when it's time for him to move on. There will be, because it will be obvious. You can tell on the field, and I think him as a competitor, if he starts sucking and he knows it, he's going to probably, I mean, it'll be tough, but I think he's going to realize it. And I mean, I think it's like, I think Brady said a few weeks ago, he's like, I'll retire when I suck. I mean, like, you know, you're going to, you know, it's going to be obvious. It's going to be clearly. I don't see a guy that needs to retire right now.
Man, and I'm so glad. I'm a lot of people thought when Smith came and he would get rid of Matt. And I heard that rumor, and it would have he earned a lot of points with me from keeping Matt, because just coming back in, if he'd have just said, well, I don't want this squad, I want he's not my guy, I want to pick my own guy. You waste the talent of Matt Ryan. Like I don't know what, like John said, I just don't know what more you want. The only thing that you could want is somebody who was more mobile, who could do more things. But like as far as a professional quarterback, it's not a lot of people better than Matt Ryan. So and he don't give you any drama when his contract he don't give you no drama. He ain't no diva. It's not, the dude is just no drama. But like you said, I don't even see the decline.
No, not this season. He looks better. He looks better to me than he did last season. And I know that's part play. A lot of it's play calling, but still.
Yeah, man. I would be honest if I thought his like arm was being a noodle. He couldn't get the ball. He was running. I said, man, he kind of holding us back. I love Matt Ryan. It's my favorite player. But I'm gonna be honest if I see that, and I just don't see it. I don't see him missing throws.
No, because you look at it like we said over the years, Matt wasn't the reason we lost the Super Bowl. Matt is not the reason we haven't won a Super Bowl. I mean, it's a team game from both sides, offense, defense. If you don't have a good defense, when has he ever had one? We talked about it 100 times. I'm not gonna go over it again. But if you're gonna say it's all on Matt, then you don't understand the game at all.
Yeah.
I can't argue with you if that's what you we don't even have anywhere else to go.
Yeah.
But can you imagine though, if we did have, I don't know, if we had a 10th ranked defense or a 12th ranked defense and we had a top receiver or a running back game. Or can you imagine? I mean, we might be 7-1, 6 and like you said. I mean, we could be 6-2 with the team we have now.
With the team we got now.
So
with the team we got now. So I would always imagine, can you imagine if he had a running back where they thought it was just as probable it would be a run on this play?
Yeah. And who's to say,
instead of being always able to key on, it's probably going to be a throw.
Right. And who's to say, because you never know, things could, Arthur's probably not our coach if we fire Quinn 2 years prior or a year prior, probably have somebody else. But if Quinn's removed earlier, maybe we wouldn't maybe we'd be in a different situation right now. I mean, it's that doesn't matter. It didn't happen. But so anyway, that's us on Matt. But another, our other just as important MVP, man, Cordell That dude is doing everything for us on a 1-year deal, making $3 million.
Man, he looked like he playing for his freedom, and like if he like, it's a special where if he survive, he live and
He
he
said,
get rich. Like he looked like he playing for, like he want to be the last one at the end of this video game. Like he is balling, he running, he blocking, he catching, he kick returning. He got 5, man. He probably the janitor at the stadium. He do ticket stubs.
he scored 7
He
touchdowns for us this year, man.
Jesus,
7
man.
touchdowns. And he said,
Yeah.
and you've probably seen the quote by now, but he said, earlier in the week, if my mom could go out there and work 3 jobs, I can
Yep.
go out there and play 3 positions.
Amazing.
Yeah, you can. And he does a damn good job. He was, I mean,
Pocket knife.
yeah. And somebody asked him, I think they said, I think they might have mentioned on the broadcast, what position do you like best? What position are you? And he said, man, I'm a baller. And
Yeah.
that's
That was
perfect.
that is the coolest answer for a
Yeah.
Falcon to give. Just that, man, I'll put wherever they put me at, I'm
Yep.
gonna ball out. Like he ain't saying I'm only this, I'm only
Yep.
that. I like that.
Yeah, and I think you may see other teams. I mean, kind of not necessarily looking for, but I mean, yeah, I mean, kind of looking for players like him. I'll be honest with you, that can
Yeah.
do multiple things. I mean, because I mean, I don't. I hope we bring him back. I don't care who we draft. I hope we bring him back because he's important. I mean, you can see the importance to his offense.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think you got to. Yeah, I
so
think you got to bring him
I
back.
mean,
No choice.
like I said, three. I mean,
One of the only weapons.
$3 million for 1 year. I mean, that dude's
Yeah.
outperforming his contract by leaps and
Hell,
bounds, man.
man, he's a pocket knife. He'll do anything.
Mhm. We talked about AJ. Man, that dude's being. I mean, I know partly it's who we're
Amazing.
playing against, but dude, by the Pro Football Focus grading, he's only 1 point behind Jalen Ramsey, who's
Yeah,
who's the number one rated cornerback in the league.
and
So,
again, I understand who we playing against, but he's
mhm.
shutting people down. And again, what I would like to see, I just can't wait to see. He has Amari Cooper next week.
Yeah,
I just want to see when he. I think I got him doing good. Like I don't think he gonna get embarrassed. I think the dude is master being a small. He know when to jump. I
mhm.
don't see him getting embarrassed.
He's
I see him doing
physical. Yeah,
well.
yeah. Even for his
He
size,
made
he's
a fan
physical.
out of me. He
Yeah,
remind me of Trufant a little bit
yeah.
when
You're
I
right.
say that.
Mhm.
He gonna be there. I'm not saying he gonna get the picket. He gonna be there. He gonna be on your ass.
Yep.
He's a pest.
Yep. Yep. And so and one other thing, man. So looking on Twitter and just looking at uh, comments and everything, and this happens almost every year that the Falcons are okay or sort of good and not. So there's a contingency of fans that want us to just suck and lose and so we can get a good draft pick. But those same fans get pissed off when we don't win.
When we lose.
So I don't
Can't have that both ways.
I don't get that. As a fan, now look, a few years ago when we lost or when we won the last 3 games of the season with Quinn, and that literally cost us like maybe 7 or 8 spots in the draft. I was a little irritated, to be honest, because we had no chance of making the playoffs.
They were trying to keep his job.
Exactly. And that's typically not how I go. Like, I want us to win no matter what. Like, I want us to win ball. If we can win football games with who we got, then maybe we don't need to be drafting that high. Maybe we just need to fill in the spots because you can get talent, dude, everywhere. TJ Watt was a third. We passed on TJ Watt. We could have had TJ Watt. He was drafted what, 30th? I mean, like, there's talent. It's how you evaluate it. And so far, these guys have evaluated talent pretty well. I know that's just a very, very small sample size, but I mean, you got to give them a chance to see who they can draft, what free agents they can bring in, and then you make your decision then or make your judgment then. But I mean, to say that, I mean, why are we winning? We're 4-4. We could make the playoffs. Like,
yeah,
if that means your team's getting better. That means your young players are learning, they're progressing. We talk about it every week. We want to see progression. Well, progression will lead to wins. That's what's happening.
yeah.
So I don't. Yeah.
And I just want to say this. I want to explain this to some people. I'm gonna try to explain it in an easy way. when we got a new coach and everything, those people had a choice if they wanted to start everything or like blow up a team, right?
Mhm.
But last year we broke a record for the team in like the history of the league who was like losing by the fewest points per game, right?
Mhm.
So most of those games we lost, it was by single digit point, like one score we could have won, right? So we could have had a totally different season all that season. We barely lost those games. When you see he didn't have a reason to come in. If he would have just gutted the team, I could see the point of whoever saying, wow, we winning. If we supposed to be starting over, you want to get drafted.
Right.
He didn't try to do that.
Mhm.
The only player that's gone is Jones, and they had to free up cap space. He kept Matt Ryan. They trying to win now. They
Yeah.
think they can win it. If we had a Ridley, we would be a problem now. I'm telling, and those boys get better every week. But I'm telling you, the coaching and them are like not like, oh, we're gonna start this process over and it's
Mhm.
gonna be years ahead. If y'all thinking that, that's not what they thinking, because that's
No.
not how they have behaved. When they came in, they kept everybody and they trying different things. They trying to win now, so we trying to win. So for y'all, like, why are we winning? We can, like John said, we can make the playoffs with the play. And you imagine if Ridley come back,
Mhm.
we got a chance to make the playoff. I'm not saying we're gonna win the Super
No,
Bowl,
of course
but
not.
we can make the playoffs. And whenever you can make the playoffs, you gotta try to make the playoffs. It ain't no I'm gonna lose on purpose and not make the playoffs. Come
No.
on, man,
I
you
mean,
always got a chance.
the experience that those players will get is invaluable. I mean, it's a
That's what I'm
different
saying. And
you
confidence.
right, the confidence. And that's the thing now. They have that belief. They keep winning.
Yep.
This is a different regime, man. It's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
This is not and you bring up a great point. When we lost those games last year so close, we're winning those games this year.
Yep.
And
Yep.
except for the Washington game, and he learned
Yep.
quick that
Because yeah,
you
that's a good
cannot.
point.
I mean, and you know that you cannot just turtle up and hope the
Mm-hmm.
defense is going to, because I mean, God bless the defense. I mean, they're not going to stop a team every time. They're going to make
He
plays,
had balls
but
yesterday.
he sure did, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can't get behind that thought process, especially this year when you got so many young guys, and confidence is such a huge part of succeeding in any sport, but especially in
And
the NFL. I mean, like,
and again with that is culture. Man, the last thing we need is to be losing on purpose.
mhm,
Like, we haven't been a team of champions who can just turn it off. We need all the practice in winning that we can get.
yep.
So if it's 9 games, if it's 8, if it's 7, if it's 10, we need to be trying to win as many games as we can and never, ever, ever be losing on purpose. Like, that's not, come
You
on, man.
can't tell me that last year the teams, when we lost those games late, lost so many games over the last few years late in the game, you can't tell me that didn't affect the boys, and like they didn't feel it in the fourth quarter. They just have the here we go again. They can say they didn't feel it. They don't. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's happened
Yep.
over time. You're a human being. You're going to feel that.
Yep.
So this year, when you change that, it's like the Braves, man. It's like, like Freddie said, they killed that narrative that we couldn't beat
Mm-hmm.
the Dodgers in 3-1. We went up 3-1 again. Well, they killed that narrative. Well, we can't win the big game because we can't win the World Series. Well, they killed that narrative. So the Falcons are killing
Mm-hmm.
their own narrative by saying, yeah, we can finish games, and we are
Yeah.
gonna. I mean, we may not. We don't have a rock solid defense, but those boys are going to make
Mm-hmm.
plays. And if our offense can, at least, like we said, man, just hope to make, hope to at least get some sort of running game that can give a little bit of breathing room.
Mm-hmm.
And, like in the end of games when we have leads, I mean, this week will be interesting because, Cowboys coming off a really tough loss to the Broncos. So it's going to be, and Dak didn't play well at all. So,
No.
I mean, it's
And
going to be an
we
interesting game
man, I'm gonna tell you, I
against,
was there
against Dan Quinn.
against Dan Quinn. We gotta fire him up. Yeah, we got, because I know he's gonna come to play. But I wanted to say this too, like, two coaches that have been outstanding for the year have been Sean Payton and Arthur Smith, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think you got to give them their props because Arthur Smith, we could have lost a few of those games too.
Yep.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
So
Yeah.
I think he was aggressive in his coaching. Like you say, he learned from the Washington game, and he kept us in with some creative play calling and some coaching. He's had unfortunate stuff happen all year with Ridley and all that, and yet he done kept us winning. So we 4-4, like with a new regime. I'm impressed at his coaching
and injuries, man. I mean,
and
Fowler,
his defense,
yeah,
like
Fowler going down,
like, and he still. And the same thing with Sean Payton, man. To have them still over there winning at the year when you lose a Hall of Fame quarterback, it's supposed to dip. It's supposed to slow up. Like it's supposed to be. He got them playing pretty damn well for it to be. So I think you got to get him to their props, and of course Sean McVay. What he doing is ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, he's got.
But
I
would
pretty
say,
solid team,
man, I like Arthur Smith. Man, I'm kind of digging Arthur Smith, man.
I am too, man. I am too.
Yeah.
And I mean, I kind of like him in his press conference.
He get mad, he yell.
Yeah,
I mean, like him. Yeah.
He's the press conference. He's kind of just no nonsense. He's not the most exciting guy in the world.
Yeah,
but
no
I mean,
nonsense.
I don't.
Right.
You know, I ain't trying to party with him. I mean, that's one of the.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But I mean, like they asked him if I forgot they asked him who I was at the press conference if somebody was going to step in for another corner, and I can't remember who they were talking about, but his answer was basically like, well, we don't really, it's not really a 1-for-1 swap. I'm not going to just start talking about our defensive strategy because it's not how we do it. He's like, we're gonna, if we were missing somebody, we're gonna coach and put, we may move guys around and put them in better positions.
Move the whole thing around. Yeah.
He's like, it's not. We're never just going to go 1-for-1 if that one is not equal to the one we're replacing. Like he may have strength somewhere else. So let's just see that level of detail. We didn't see that before, man. Just to be honest,
with nobody. Yeah, they were like just swapping with whoever. Man,
DQ thought he was going to
whoever's his height can play.
DQ thought he was going to come here and he was just going to recreate Seattle's defense, and that was going to be it, and it just didn't happen. I mean,
nope.
So, but yeah, I mean, amongst other issues that he had, but yeah, so I don't know. I'm looking forward to this weekend's game. It's going to be it'll be a good test. I mean, this week was I don't. We looked at that. We looked at the schedule a few shows ago, and I said I looked at 2 games we could win. I mean, and that's such a lame thing because you don't know. Like we talked about before, it's NFL. Jacksonville just beat Buffalo. You never know. Just so all you're going off is how we've played, how we've looked, how how the other teams have played, how they've looked. So I mean, you don't know, man. These boys get some confidence behind them, and they keep making plays. As we said before too last week. One thing we didn't do in the Carolina game is the opportunities we were given, we didn't capitalize on them.
No.
And this week we did. I mean, when we got in the red zone, we score. If we don't score 7 in the red zone this week, we lose the game by 2 touchdowns.
No. Yep.
Because we get 3, we lose. I mean, that's it. So I mean, like the fact that that's improving, I mean, it's I don't know, man. I feel good. I feel,
I'm gonna be honest, man. It was just so important for us to it was a joke. I had stated this as a joke, but I thought it was perfect. It was like the Saints are the girl. If you had like a ex-girlfriend and you had to like run to the store at like the early in the morning or off the late night, and you had on like some crazy clothes and your hair was everywhere. It's the one person you don't want to catch. You seeing you like that. Just don't. I will look bad. Just don't catch me. I don't want this person to catch me when I look like this. And I feel like the Saints, I'm like, man, I'll lose to anybody. And man, and we could have a bad game and it could be embarrassing. Right. I'll deal with it. But not the Saints, because the Saints gonna talk so much trash, and it's just gonna be so many memes and so many. So you can't. I'm thinking like just not if they come back and beat us. They gonna talk for
it's been terrible.
For the rest of the season until we play the next time. It would have been if we would have lost that lead and they would have won. Oh, the memes, the jokes. It would have been. So I just was saying, not this one team. Man, we could do this, but just not in front of the Saints.
Yep.
And my team, for the second time in a short number of weeks, came back with Koo at the end.
Yep.
And I'm not used to winning those. I'm not used to that feeling of like,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know how to feel like, we won in the end.
Dude, my buddy Corey, who we text all the time during Braves games, and we he said he sent me the perfect text because it was after Game 5 of the World Series, and that's the game we lost here at home, and that's the game we hit the Grand Slam, at the beginning of the game, and we ended up losing. So I texted him. I said, man, I let myself feel confident again. I said, it's a rookie mistake. I ain't gonna do it again. That was on me. And he said, that's the uncanny ability of Atlanta sports. They pull you in slowly, hit you with that memory blank, and then they suplex you off the top rope.
No, that's true. Yes.
That's perfect.
That's perfect.
I was like, dude, I got to use that. And he was like, that's all me. I said, well, I'll quote you on it. But that was from Corey Duke. And he couldn't have described it any better, man. But I mean, for us, like I said, man, the Braves killed it. I want the Falcons to keep killing it and put that we can't finish shit to rest because I don't want to hear it no more. I want to keep finishing games. I mean, if we get beat, we get beat. But I don't want us to go down like that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm encouraged, man. I feel that was a fun watch, and it was fun to talk about. So hopefully we're having the same conversation next week about the Cowboys.
We got our best test of the season, I think, so far, because of Tampa was still starting out, but you got the mid-season Dallas Cowboys. This should be a good one. I want to see what we do.
I agree.
And there's no way I can even say. I don't know what team.
I have no idea.
I have no idea what team going to show up. See, that's how the Falcons do. I have no idea if the team who played the Panthers are going to show up and we're going to get embarrassed, or the team who played the Saints and like, oh shit, man, anything is possible.
Yep.
Because we on a roll.
Yeah.
And Matt throwing for 350 yards and 2-3 touchdowns. Like anything becomes possible then.
Yeah, well, in a game like any game for us, to be honest, I mean, when you're not that talented, it comes a lot down to coaching and preparation and how they call the game. And it was, on display beautifully for the Saints game. Right. So we hope that they keep continuing that on and for the rest of the season.
How does it feel that me and you are saying? I don't know when is the last time me and you are saying that we liked the coach of the Falcons?
It's been years for me, dude.
It's been, I don't even remember. Was it Dan Reeves? I don't even remember.
I liked Mike Smith initially. It just got like boring as hell after a while. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, dude, probably. I mean,
so it feels pretty good, right? And I tried not to like him because I don't think he's personable. I don't think he can dress well. I don't think he's a cool coach. He didn't seem. I was trying not to like the dude, but I'm liking what I'm seeing on the football field.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know what to think when they got hired, and like we talked about before. But I mean, yeah, I got nothing bad to say yet.
Nothing.
I mean, we'll see how it turns out. But when we do our preview show, probably Wednesday or Thursday for probably I don't know what day we'll do it. We'll do it one of those days for the Cowboys. We'll have to figure out some kind of prediction. But like you said, I mean, it's going to be a shot in the dark. Probably Liam will probably nail it again without even knowing.
It's going to be a shot in the dark because who knows what team going to come to play.
Yeah, I mean, one team coming off a hell of a win and another team getting their ass whooped pretty good by a team they probably shouldn't have lost to. So yeah, who knows? It would feel really good. And Dan Quinn's a great person, but it still feels really good to beat him. It feels really good. Because I mean, I got my own problems with Dan Quinn, but
John, I told you, Vic Beasley and Dan Quinn. John got like target practice with them too.
Yeah, I'm good at that. But anyway, guys, so we'll end the show there. This has been a fun.
I gotta say one more thing. I gotta say one more thing. Now I don't watch hoop, but the one player you gotta watch when you see him on TV, you gotta watch Ja Morant. Ja Morant is amazing, man. I'm talking about Ja Morant do stuff.
He's fun to watch.
You can't imagine. He is fun to watch. Hey, who he play for, John? He played for the
Grizzlies.
The Grizzlies. Okay. When y'all see the Vancouver Grizzlies turn to it. This young skinny dude named Ja Morant.
It's Memphis now, dude. They moved.
So it's the Memphis. Oh, I said Vancouver. You know, I don't watch them. The Memphis Grizzlies, Ja Morant. I'm telling y'all, man, the dude is amazing.
Well, we're not a Grizzlies fan cast, so it's okay. You don't have to.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so you can go watch. If you see Memphis Grizzlies, the kid is Ja Morant. Ja Morant is he gonna do something while you watching. That's spectacular. I'm telling you.
That's right. Yeah, he's a baller, that's for sure. I don't like playing him but I mean him and Trey are good. They're fun to watch when they play each other.
Yeah. Oh, I would love to see that. I would love to see them two go at it.
Trey's still not great playing defense, but he's getting. I guess he's getting there. But yeah. Anyway, guys, we appreciate you so much listening and watching if you're watching. And if you are watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button for us because we're not posting crap every day. We post these recordings. So if you this is just how you want to take in our content, then by all means just subscribe to us and you'll see our new shows when they come out. And again, if you're on Apple, give us a 5-star review. If you leave us some nice words, be happy to read it out and we'll shout you out on the podcast. If you're on any other platform, just follow, subscribe. Tell all your friends, tell your family, man, we're trying to grow this and make this as big as we can. So
you can watch our content. You can hear our content. You can snort our content. You can smoke our content. You can drink our content. Just take in our content.
That's right.
And leave us when you go on podcast on Apple. 2 things. It don't cost you nothing. 5-star review and subscribe.
That's right. That's right. We greatly appreciate it because, like I said, man, we're having fun with this. We are just 2 normal dudes, not media, not journalists, just having fun, talking about our team, giving you a little bit of stats, giving you a whole lot of opinions, talking about other stuff, Netflix, whatever, man. Just come on in and join us, send us emails, comment, like us on, I didn't mention Facebook. I did create a Facebook group about a week ago. It's just Out of Your Falcon Mind. So if you're listening, just search for it and just send me or just request to join. I'll be happy to approve it.
So really, just take about 60 seconds and just do all that. Just subscribe to us on the Apple Podcast. Put it on 5-star review. Follow us on Twitter and follow us on Instagram and follow the Facebook group.
That's right.
It'll probably take you 60 seconds and you wouldn't miss another thing we did. If I called your mother's name on here, you would hear it. You feel me?
Yeah, and you know what? Thinking I mean, even when the season's over, guys, we're still going to do shows because the NFL season never really stops. I mean, we'll talk about.
That's when the magic will happen.
That's right.
We will be being creative.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because we'll talk about different things. We'll talk about the free agency. We'll talk about the draft. We'll talk about anything to do with the Falcons. We may have like a Netflix special show. We sit here and talk for half an hour about Netflix. We're going to keep putting stuff out there. So I mean, we're going to have fun. We're going to keep putting stuff out there and having a good time with it. So we're going to have guests, keep having guests on. We're going to have Chris back for New Orleans again in January or whenever we play him again. Any other people that we know that we can put on here that we trust that are fans of other teams, we'll invite them on. And then also I want to do something, and we'll have this soon. And we hadn't even talked about this yet, Mike. So you're hearing this for the first time. I think it'd be cool because you're from DC and you're a Falcons fan. Yeah, I think it'd be awesome to have fans come on the show from not from Atlanta. It could be from anywhere.
That'd be dope.
And just talk. It could be 20 minutes. We could have a 20-minute podcast. Hey, how'd you become an Atlanta Falcons fan, and why? And can we, let's talk about it.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Because just to hear everybody's story, I think that'd be so cool. Because I mean, there's a UK podcast. Fans in the UK, and I mean, when I followed them on Twitter, I think they followed us back. We maybe have one of those guys on one day. Maybe they'll want to have us on one day.
Yeah,
they're just finding out like, hey, how'd you become a fan? Because I'd love to hear those stories and find out. Because I mean,
I would love to hear those too. How did you, if you live in like Nebraska?
Yeah.
How did you become a Falcon fan in Nebraska? That's a great idea.
Because
if y'all hear that, I would assume if you plan this one, you're a Falcon fan.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't live in the state of Georgia, you need to get in contact with us because we want to hear that story. Just explain it in a short paragraph, or explain your if you want to shoot us your contact, we might even have him on the show.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, if you're interested in coming on the show, let us know. Or if you just want to send us like how I became a fan,
like
that's
a
fine
short
too.
paragraph.
Exactly. Yeah. Either one. Just let us know.
We'll read it.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope.
Yeah. So and the only reason I thought about that is I got a buddy. We've never met in person. We met online through a fitness group that we'll talk about when we have him on. But he's in Pennsylvania, and like he's around a bunch of Eagles fans. He's a Falcons fan. Been a diehard fan his entire life. So like we were texting. Yeah, we were texting back and forth earlier this week, and that just hit me. I'm like, well, shit, man, you should come on and talk about how you became a fan. So that's how that came about. I forgot to tell you, but now I told you. So
that's a great idea.
Yeah. So, all right, guys, we've talked enough about the game and other things. So we really hope you enjoyed this show. This is the most fun I think we've had. I mean, like I said, you can't top it when you beat the Saints. So
you can't top it.
Yeah. So again, guys, thanks for listening. Mike, anything else from you, buddy?
Get a dog, watch Ja Morant, go Falcons.
Get a dog, watch Trae Young. Go Falcons.
There you go.
And we are out of your Falcon mind, and we are out.
Out of your Falcon mind. Peace.